Sunday morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Sunday. I don't know if you can hear that dog barking in the background. That's our neighbor's dog over here, Jack. He likes to wish everyone a good morning as well. So thanks for coming and viewing the video again this morning. Today we've got a really busy day. As some of you may know, I co-host a podcast called The Painter and the Pixie with my husband, and Sunday is recording day. We do at least one episode every Sunday. Sometimes we do 2 or 3. And today is a really fun day because we have got a couple of guests coming on with us. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, so stay tuned. I'll post links for you so you can find that show in the show description, and I might stick a card up in the corner for you too. I think that's about all for this morning. I am going to be drinking this lovely cup of black coffee. I really enjoy my black coffee, and you know what? Black coffee, as long as it's made fresh and it's not too strong, is allowed on GAPS. I didn't realize that until I started reading further along. It may not technically be allowed in the first couple of stages, but you know what? That's where I say if I'm trying to do this for a longer term, and I plan on doing this GAPS protocol for somewhere between a month to 3 months of the full GAPS diet, I want to give myself a way to kind of ease in. That's where, when you begin the GAPS protocol, they often encourage you to start with full GAPS first, feel really comfortable and steady with that type of a diet, and then move into the intro stages to help yourself along further down the road. So I'm kind of combining a little bit of the two. I think I'll still see some benefits and move that in the right direction for me. So I'm enjoying this coffee. A little bit later I'm going to make my ginger tea. I'll show you all how I do that, and I'll be able to sip on that ginger tea while we're doing some more cleaning today. We did a lot of cleaning yesterday. It was surprisingly difficult for me to find time to pick up the phone and vlog during the day yesterday, so yesterday's vlog was a little bit short. Sorry about that. I didn't even show you my stew with mixing my egg yolk into it, so we'll do that later today as well. And maybe in a little bit I might actually introduce you to my husband. Who is this husband I keep talking about? So we'll see if I have some time here with him to be in one of our scenes. But it's going to be a good day. It's nice and sunny, and my little electronic Apple Watch device here says it's 52 degrees, so not too bad, not terrible. I'm going to go sit outside and enjoy this cup of black coffee with my husband, and then come back in and get to some more cleaning, get to some more cooking. I'm gonna prep out some of my meals for the week into smaller jars so that all I have to do is dump and go. I've got a really busy week coming up ahead of me, and I have bigger jars set aside, but I'm just gonna put them into smaller serving size jars. And remember, I have 3 or 4 mason jars filled with my beef stew, but I'm gonna be diluting that with a little bit more broth for myself, or I should say stock, not broth. And I think that's about it. Now I'm getting ready to make my ginger tea. I'm just going to make myself a really big batch of it and steep it here in my tea kettle and keep that ready for me. I'm going to drink that through the rest of the morning until I start really feeling hungry for breakfast. Then I'll show you my breakfast, my ground beef stew, and we'll take it from there. So while my tea is heating, I wanted to give you guys an update about how I'm feeling here in stage 2. So stage 2 is different from stage 1 in the beginning of the GAPS protocol in that you have a little bit less, of a smaller amount of stock in your soups and stews, and you have the introduction of a raw egg yolk to your meals. The first few days I felt fine. I felt totally great. But that was with my chicken soup. So yesterday with my beef soup, I felt a little bit different. It was not exactly the same. And I thought, this is a little bit of a dense protein source here from the ground beef. So what I've done for this last night, and what I'll continue to do for today, is to just take a little bit of a hydrochloric acid support. As some of you may know, your body needs a lot of hydrochloric acid, good digestive function here in the stomach, to be able to break down animal protein effectively. So I'm going to just take a little bit of a hydrochloric acid support supplement to kind of bring myself through and see if that does well for me. It was a nice eye-opening experience because that's not common for me. And I realized, as I was thinking about it this morning, I realized it's because I don't usually eat that volume of animal protein at one time. I did fine with the chicken because it was a little bit of chicken with lots of vegetables and a lot of stock. And this time around, it's about half meat and vegetables and half stock, rather than mostly stock and a little bit of meat and vegetables. So what that tells me is that my system was having a little bit of a difficult time digesting that protein effectively. So I felt a little bit off, I felt a little bit heavy, felt a little bit like not quite gassy, but almost like I could burp. So I was like, all right, my body is telling me I'm having some difficult time breaking this down. So I'm gonna help it along, give it a little bit of hydrochloric acid support, and see how that goes. I'll show you a little bit later today when I'm actually eating my lunch or my first meal, my first breakfast this morning. I kind of like to take it easy. It's the weekend, I just sat outside. You might see it look a little more pink now than I did a little while ago. Sat in the sun, it was beautiful, wonderful sunshine. My thermometer on my watch said it was 57 degrees, but I tell you, it felt like 75. Beautiful sunshine. I cannot wait to soak more of that in today. Oh, and here comes Gus. He's gonna say hi too. Hi, let's say, you're all wet. Look who just got out of the bath. Ah, say hi to the people. Hi, say hi. Now he's gonna run around like crazy. Oh, I know. So I think it's really important to listen to your body when you're hungry or not hungry. So that's why I haven't eaten my first meal yet. I'm just sipped on my 1 cup of coffee, which I am allowing myself 1 cup of coffee. And then I'm gonna move to drink my ginger tea once that's steeped, and I'll sip on that for a while until I start feeling hungry for lunch, and then I'll take you along and you can see me mix in my egg yolk to my new beef stew. It's pretty good. I think it's going to be a nice little thing to use for the next couple of days here, and I'm going to add that hydrochloric acid support supplement, and I think that I'll be doing just fine. I am here in the den now, getting ready to do some video editing on my laptop. Jeremy is in the kitchen and he is being fantastic, and he's mopping and sweeping the floors for us so that we have a nice, clean, awesome workspace to do our podcast in later this afternoon. So I have my ginger tea right here. It's been brewing on the stove for a while, and I just brought it in on it has a little plate so it doesn't burn the wood or anything like that. And I've already added my coconut oil and my honey to my cup, so I'm just going to pour the liquid over and stir that up and let that dissolve and sip on that while I finish my video editing from yesterday's vlog. And then in a little bit I will probably go and eat some of my stew and show you how to mix that egg yolk in and what that looks like. So far I'm really liking this protocol. I think it's a lot of fun, and it's really not as challenging as I thought it might be. We're gonna have, like I said, our guests for our podcast and share lunch with them, and they're going to eat the chili version of my stew and I'm gonna eat mine. I'm gonna fry an egg on top of theirs, and it's gonna be fantastic. I can't wait till I get to stage 3 where I can do whole eggs and do a fried egg on top of my own stew. And then when we get to stage 5, oh man, stage 5 is gonna be a whole new ball game. You can start introducing all sorts of other spices and flavors. It's gonna be delightful. I'm very much looking forward to that. We are setting up the studio for our podcast. We're almost ready, and you can see here what my kitchen now looks like, all set up and ready to go for our show. Very exciting. Can't wait for Tim and Angie to arrive. Before they do, though, I'm going to have my lunch, which is actually going to be my first meal of the day. And I have my jar here of pre-cooked beef stew I made yesterday, and I'm going to just add some stock to it, and then I'll show you how I mix in the egg yolk, and it'll be pretty cool. So here we go. Hello again. I realized that after the podcast yesterday, I completely forgot to end the vlog. So I had a nice little bowl of my stew yesterday night and fell asleep, and we had a wonderful time doing our show. We recorded, we had a great podcast. If you want to follow us and hear the show, I'll link it below once it's posted. You can look us up at the Painter and the Pixie. The Painter and the Pixie on Instagram. And then we have the painterandthepixie.com. So that's my podcast with me and my husband. It's kind of a lot of fun, a conglomeration of a bunch of different topics. But we kind of use it as an online resource now for a lot of our clients. My husband's been in contracting for 15 years, something like this. And I have been in private practice for nutrition for about 4. So we have a lot of fun things, a lot of fun guests, a lot of fun topics to talk about. So check us out, and I will see you guys tomorrow in the vlog. Good night.